Hey guys, and welcome to another stream here on IG8Live Esports. This evening we're back once again with L2S F2 Esports League for the Belgium Grand Prix, which I think is round 7 of the current season to finish off here right about now. So I think we're getting ready for our one-shot qualifying as usual, then getting to the feature race, then to the sprint race. So let's see how well qualifying goes, and then we go from there and see how well actually the feature race start is going to go. It's been a while since we've been on with one of these F2 races, so it should be a lot of fun because it's usually some action from the start to the end of the race. And there we go, getting started already. We got 15 drivers in for this one here right about now. Looks like Callum is leading out front, but Lando now takes it away. I think it's between the two of them, so let's keep it out in front and see how that's working out. But at the moment, going through Sector 1, it's Lando getting the fastest time so far. I think this is going to be quite an interesting race as well. So let's see how well that goes. So far we got 15 in. I don't think we're going to have any more drivers joining on, but still a decent number to work with. And it's actually staying a bit constant in terms of positions going on through the lap so far. Looks like Lando gets a purple sector 1, and DRS Neil is now up into second, Laurentier into third, Royal Harvey fourth, Briggsy fifth, and you think he just went up, yeah, he's up to fourth, Callum back up to fifth, Slayer in sixth, Icona 7, Ace versus King in 8, Pedro in ninth, Royal Harvey down to 10th right now, F1 Immortal down to 11th, Central in 12th, GTF Fanatic 13, J Sarge 14, and Frenzy in 15th. And it's a bit of a change around going on up in the top of the grid at the moment. So let's see if that carries on through to the end, because Lando still holds on to fastest time on track here at the moment. I'm trying to see if that's going to carry on through for his sector 2 time here. He doesn't look like he gets the fastest sector 2. That goes away probably to Neil there, who takes the lead for the fastest lap here currently here right now. We're going to switch on over to him, and let's see if he does get the fastest time there in sector 3. That's going to mean he's going to be starting up provisional pole here for the Belgium Grand Prix for the feature race at least. And that's going to put Lando down to second, Laurentier running in third right about now. So a bit of competition going on. Let's see what the lap times look like as these guys get on through here. And there we have it. So quite a close gap between them. A few disqualifications in it. A few cars did not finish, but a 154.2 from DRS Neil for the fastest lap there in qualifying. One-shot qualifying here for the Belgium Grand Prix to get started with that feature race. So we're about to get into that here right now. We'll have a look at the grid there quickly. So Neil starting P1, Lando starts second, Laurentier is going to start third. We got Dicona starting fourth, Briggsy starting fifth, Slayer starting sixth. We got Ace versus King starts 7. Callum starting 8th, Pedro in 9th, Roll Harvey 10th, F1 Immortal in 11th, J Sarge down to 12th, GTF Fanatic in 13th, Central in 14th, and Frenzy there in 15th. At least 4 disqualified laps there on that one there, but the lap time's not looking too bad. Pretty close up between quite a few drivers, so I think it's going to be interesting with a restart as usual it is here with L2S F2. So we're about to get to that right now, so let's see how well these guys get started on the feature race. And don't worry, we do have the sprint race coming up just after that one there as well. So at least an hour of racing here to go with L2S F2 Esports. He's trying to get, Lorenzo is trying to get up into a podium position if possible. So let's see if he's able to get that done. It's a bit of contact going on through, but still so far in the race, Lando still with the lead as he's taken away from Neil just about a lap ago. So he's still holding on to that pretty well, about 4 tenths ahead. And Lorenzo running in third now against Dicona, who's down to fourth. Briggsy in fifth still has a bit of a gap to catch up with them, but he's trying to get up that position if possible. Slayer here running about 3 tenths behind Briggsy. Let's see if he's able to get that overtake done, but he's chasing after him pretty strongly. And just having a look at the battle happening out front there as well as they go uphill with that. And he's caught up pretty well. A bit of minor contact letting him know that he is there, has the DRS advantage, and looks like he might be able to take it around the outside, which is forced to take it around the outside actually, and will be able to get that position up. Looks like about 3 cars going wide into that corner there. Looks like they all get through pretty well. I don't see any major contact happening, no damage so far, as they start running 6, Brixie behind in 7, Slayer ahead in 5th. Dicona trying to keep up with Laurentier out front, about a 5-10 gap is what it is. Sorry guys, might have had the mic off for the opening part of the race there. Didn't really realize what was going on. So that might have been a bit blank for that first 2 laps at least. I think we're good and we should be good going on to the end here right now. So Neil still running second. Started off with the lead. Lost it to Lando though, going around to lap 2. And I don't think Lando's plans on giving it back because he's trying to build a gap right about now, up to 5 tenths ahead of Neil. I think he's going to try to keep it that way. Of course, the DRS advantage is keeping Neil chasing after him though. An excessively close gap, so I think Neil is looking for a gap to work with to get past and get back into the lead of the race, but I think it's going to be a bit difficult trying to do that here right now because we're still following on board as Lando loses it just a bit there, as we can see getting off that final corner, and he loses the lead out to Neil once again. He's back down to second. Let's see if he's able to get back the position away from Neil. I wonder if it was maybe the same situation that caused him to go into the lead in the first place. I'm not sure because really didn't see that actually happen. So let's see how the rest of the race goes though, because as we have it, Laurentier now running P3 in the race, still there, 2.6 seconds behind though, so he's a bit of a gap to catch up with if he wants to get that position up. JSR still running 6, Brixie chasing after him in 7 though. He's looking to get by. Looks like he might be having some problems, I'm not sure, maybe that's just on my end, but he's going to take it on the inside. Let's see if he's able to get that position up. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen on this occasion lap. GTF Fanatic is up to 10th right about now, and about a 10th between him and Petro out in front. He's trying to get up into 9th here right now, but I think he's having some trouble, and that's, I think, it's his teammate in front of him. So let's see if they're going to be doing a switch or not on this one here. It looks like they are going to be doing a switch. He's taking around the inside, and looks like that's pretty close actually. Hopefully no contact between the 2 cars as he tries to get out one. He does have some contact, caused a bit of spin with his teammate there. I'm not sure whose fault that was, but I don't think the team is going to be pretty happy about that one there, because it did cause Pedro to lose quite a few positions. He's now down to 13th on the grid, so definitely not going to be happy about it. Out in front we still got Lando now back into the lead, and Neil back down to second. I don't know when that happened, and it's about a 5-10 gap once again between the 2 of them as they continue on through. I'm going to go back up here and follow with these 2 once again to see what's happening with them, because they qualified to start P1, started P1, lost the lead to Lando on the 2nd lap. They did a switch and done another switch once again. So Lando's back into the lead. Neil now still running 2nd. Lawrence is still there in 3rd, but he still has his gap to catch up with these guys here right about now, 1.7 seconds. As it is, we're back down here with Slayer chasing after Dicona right now. Let's see how well that's going. He's going to have some DRS advantage coming here right about now, which he uses. And looks like he's getting ahead into P4. And Deacon is now down to P5 and might have to just hold it on there for now at least. Does have JSR chasing after him behind, 1.4 seconds behind, so he's going to be a bit careful with that. Briggsy chasing after JSR, so I think he's keeping him a bit busy down at the back there in the midfield of the grid. Trying to have a look at that here right now. We can see those two coming down behind, but still a pretty close gap between Slayer and Deacon as they continue on lap 5 here at the moment. As we said, it's a pretty long lap here around Spa, so explains why we're only 13 laps for this race. Our sprinters will be just a bit shorter here with that there. I did not have a look at the standings for the season so far. We'll have a look at that maybe next week with the results off of this race and see where we're at currently for the season so far. I think JSR just went a bit wide there, did he? Yep, he did. And that was track warning, gave him a penalty there. That's going to cost him just a bit. Now out front, let's have a look back at what's happening. It doesn't look like these two will be switching back right away unless Lando makes some sort of significant mistake. And looks like they're pitting right about now on lap 5 here. They're getting into the pits. Let's see what the strategy changes. I assume they're going on to the mediums to go down to the end of the race. And looks like Slayer has continued on out in front. So let's have a look at him here right now. So Slayer is now into the lead of the feature race right now for the Belgium Grand Prix, and he's looking pretty well at that. So he's going to continue on maybe for a lap or two more before actually doing his pit stop and getting onto his medium tires to go to the end of the race. Of course, we got Briggsy, Central, and Frenzy who started on the mediums. So they're pushing for a much longer stint before actually doing their first pit stop. So let's see how that strategy works for them, if it does get them up quite a few positions or not. But Slayer and J Sarge still running out front. They're P1, P2 at the moment. Let's see how the strategy works in terms of when they decide to do their pit stop. We do have Lando back out on track. He's running in 6th right now. And somehow F1 Immortal has gotten in between him and Neil. That's going to be an advantage to Lando himself there, but Neil is not going to be too happy about it. But he is coming just behind right about now, trying to get past F1 Immortal's car to get up into 7th place and chase after Lando, which he just did actually. So not a bad overtake for him. He's got that position up quite quickly, and he's now going to chase after he's going to chase after Orlando there to try to get that position if he can. We'll see how that's going to work out for him. Okay, so we do have a bit of a gap starting to form between most of our cars from what I can see going on here so far, but I think that might change just a bit as a few more cars do their pit stops coming up very, very shortly, because we have just a few cars who have not pitted. And there we go. So Slayer and J Sarge both into the pits right now as they started the race on the soft tires, which were not going to last too much longer out there on the track. But we do have Briggsy, who has started the race on his medium, still running on them, as is Central there, running in 2nd now, as Briggsy takes over the lead. And it's going to continue on with that. We do have Slayer, and I think someone else in TSR probably into the pits there right about now as well. Okay, so still following on out front. Lando is now up into 4th. Has Neil chasing after him. Slayer, of course, running 6th. J Sarge in 7th. All of these cars already took their pit stops here. Decune in 8th. Callum 9th. GTF Fanatic 10th. F1 Immortal currently getting out of the pits for 11th, I think, but he's down to 12th. Petro taking over 11th. Ace versus King running behind of him. Laurentier down to 14th to the back of the grid. Getting onto the soft tires now to go to the end of this race. Let's see how that strategy works for him as Lando gets up into 3rd against Frenzy, but Neil follows him on through, and I think he's going to try to keep up with him all the way going to the end of the race here. I think we just hit the halfway point through this, already on lap 7 getting on through this race. Another 6.5 laps to go before we get to the end of the feature race here. And going down to Jay Sarge right about now in 7. Let's see what's have a look on board with him and see where he is with Slayer out in front by about 4 tenths. It's keeping that gap pretty close now. Out in front here, back with Neil and Lando once again. These two have a pretty close gap. 3/10 is what it is, and I think Neil has done a pretty good job so far of keeping up with Lando as he fights his way back up to the front of the grid. And it looks like Neil definitely will try to get back that lead from him. Let's see if he's going to be able to get that or not. So far, so good in the race as he's done. He's trying to keep a pretty close gap with Lando, trying to keep within his DRS range as much as he can. Looks like he gets the fastest lap and takes back the lead from Lando right about now, as Lando was about to take back the lead there as the cars in front of them did their pit stops. So Neil back into the lead, Lando back into second place on the race here right about now, chasing after Neil. Frenzy now running into third. He's done about 7 laps on his medium, needs to take a pit stop. Slater in fourth. He's going to take over third place after Frenzy does a pit stop. Jay Sarge to move a position there as well, and there goes Lando taking it on the outside, possibly to get that position away, and he does get it away actually. So I think the DRS advantage help, and Ace versus King is somehow out of this race. Seeing that happen somewhere in sector 2, and we do have a full safety car for that incident there. And just as Lando got his overtake done, so he's safely now into the lead of the race into lap 8. We're going to be going under the safety car for about 2 to 3 laps before getting back racing here. Lorenzo gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, unfortunately with that, but does happen sometimes. And we got at least 5 more laps to go in this race, and at least about 2 of those laps will be done under a safety car, or maybe at least a lap and a half more to be done under the safety car. Put about 2 laps at least, I gotta say, guys. So before we do get back to racing, now this safety car might be triggering a pit stop here or 2, but I definitely think Frenzy might take a chance and do a pit stop under the safety car. Let's see if he's gonna do that or not. Of course, that might be a bit of a disadvantage to him now that everyone else has taken their stop already, because he's not able to drive at full pace getting around the track, and everyone's starting to close their gaps on other cars around them. So this is going to mean that he is going to probably be losing a few extra positions, maybe, or maybe it might come to an advantage to him. Let's see where he gets out after he takes his stop here, because I'm quite sure he's going in for a pit stop, which he is here right now. Okay, so we got Frenzy getting back out. Let's see where he's going to be at the end of this, because as cars are closing their gaps, he seemed to have lost quite a few positions. Now out in front, we do have Lando still leading. We're into lap 9 right about now, which I assume we're going to be going back to racing maybe by the end of lap 10. We'll see what the situation is going to be with that there, because they're trying to clear up the track right about now with, I think, with any debris currently left on track from Ace versus King's car there. So unfortunate to see 2 drivers out of this feature race so far. We still got 13 drivers to finish it off with just a few laps to go. We're just waiting for the safety car to be over right about now. Okay, so back on again. We're on lap 10, still on the safety car. I'm going on through right about now. I think we got just frenzy to catch up to the safety car queue, and I think we should be able to get back restarted with this race going into lap 11. So we're just waiting for that safety car and the grid to get into into sector 3 of the track, so we should have a notification from race control that we're about to get back racing. Just waiting for that right about now. Let's have a look at position changes. In the meanwhile, we're going on through with that here if we can. Let's see where it is. So there we have it. So Chaser, it looks like he might be looking at getting a potential driver of the day off of this here right about now. Everyone's on their stops and penalties as they are. As we can see, there are a few 3 seconds, a few 6 seconds, and I think we got 1 5-second there with Laurentio down at the back, which will all be added to the end of their race with their times. So we'll see how that's going to work on through. Okay, so there we have a safety car is going to be in on this lap. We're about to get back racing with this, so let's see how well that restart is going to go. First safety car for the race itself. We got at least 3 more laps of racing left to look forward to before this feature race comes to an end, and then we get straight into the sprint race, which will be just a bit shorter than this one. So we still have at least 1 more race to look forward to with a reverse grid start on that one. So we'll see how well that's going to work. Well, let's see how the strategy worked out for these guys here, because Prix are on very fresh soft tires as well as Central. Let's see if they're able to gain a few positions off of this restart, as well as Frenzy there down at the back. So we're trying to keep an eye on most of the cars in front, I guess, going on through back to the restart. Let's go on back to J-Star. Slayer is pretty close after Neil. Might try to take him side by side into turn 1, which he actually is trying to do there right about now. Looks like he might be able to get away with 2nd place on this if he pushes on through enough. They're still going side by side through this in sector 1, fighting it for 2nd place on the grid, and let's see who gets on through. Slayer looks like he might be able to hold on to that, but Neil has to take down to 3rd. Jay Sarge though taking away 3rd place right about now from Neil, so he's down 2 positions off of that restart so far. Even down more, he's down to 6 right about now, as Jay Sarge is right with the rear of Slayer getting on through. As you can see, almost a bit of contact between a few cars, and that is Brixie having a bit of contact there and losing control of his car just a bit, trying to keep it on track. I think he's back on track though in 9th at the moment. Lose quite a few positions on that incident there, and that's a yellow flag situation going on so far. We do have the Kuna having some problems on in the back there as well. I think he might have got caught up in that, maybe just a bit. I'm not sure what happened, but either way, let's continue on through. JSR chasing after Slayer, who's now in 2nd though, taking that position away from Neil there, who is now back up running 4th. So he's still chasing after these guys, trying to get his position back before this race comes to an end, which is going to be very, very quickly, as we're on lap 11, about to finish off this lap with about 2 more laps to go after this one here. So let's see where these guys are going to be at the end of this. But Lando though leading this race, still out in front by 2.3 seconds, keeping everyone out of the DRS range for when that does come back online. They're not going to be able to have that advantage against him, so he's gotten a pretty good restart. But unfortunately for Neil, had to fight it off with Slayer and Jay Sarge in terms of keeping 2nd place, which did not happen for him. So Slayer up to 2nd, not a bad position for him. Jay Sarge there running 3rd, and Neil down to 4th. I think Lando might be in trouble for attempting to have Slayer's name change on stream, because Slayer is catching up to him. Gap is 1.4 seconds. I think he's definitely in some trouble. Gap is starting to go under a second here right now. Lando's definitely in trouble of keeping that position. I think things might be catching up to him here right about now, or Slayer might be just a bit I don't know, he seems to have some intention of getting past Lando and taking the win away from him from this race. Maybe just because of Lando messaging me and telling me what to call him on stream. I'm not sure what the situation is. We'll see if that's what's going on here with these two right about now. But that gap is closing as we continue on with this race. We're going to keep an eye on them as we go on through. It's JSR just behind all of this, and he's had a pretty interesting strategy on that restart. Kept right on the rear of Slayer's car and follow him on through for every move that he made, getting on through to 2nd place there. as he got that overtake done on Neil very easily as well. But Neil, unfortunately, down to fourth. Might be getting back a position because remember, we do have penalties here. Let's bring penalties online right about now and see where we're at. And it's a 6-second penalty for both Slayer and J Sarge, which means that's going to put Neil back into second place on the grid. So Slayer's going to be down to third. And not sure if Central is going to be able to take that away from him with a 1.7-second gap that he has against Neil, which Neil has a pretty close gap against J Sarge right now. So he might be able to get on to third place before even taking away second place back free from Slayer there. I see Beer has joined on the session. Hopefully he's going to be into the next sprint race coming up. And I see someone says Stub is following me. I think that probably either on Facebook or Twitch. I'm not sure which one as yet. I haven't set it up to just see which one it is. But thanks for the follow. Do appreciate you guys following all the socials and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Does help us out a lot when you guys do that. Remember, we did have to remake the Facebook page, which we're streaming on there right about now. Link is in the description. So please, guys, do head on over to the Facebook page and give us a follow. Also, Twitch link in the description. Follow us there as well. And if you're on YouTube, so make sure you guys are subscribed or wherever you are. All the links are in the description. Just check it out and make sure you do subscribe to us. And kind of easy to find. Just search your channel name on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook and you should be able to find it pretty easily. Okay, so into the final lap here right about now. We got a pretty close gap between our cars running out front for this feature race. Lando still leading. Of course, Slayer and JS are both 6-second penalties with them. DRS Neil there 3/10 behind, no penalties. Looks like he might be getting away with second place on this race, pushing Slayer down to maybe fourth here because Central, actually no, he's gonna go down probably to third because Central now has a penalty. He's cost himself a podium position here, I think, with getting that penalty. Let's see if that's going to work out, but we still have Neil here leading on through, but the gap has been broken down by Slayer quite a bit. It's down to about a second between them. So still a pretty good job of Slayer and JSR chasing after him and keeping that gap as it is. And Neil just, I think he's just going to hold on to a fourth for now, because he knows he's going to be getting a position or two up here if he does know that both of these guys do have penalties with them for the race so far. So I think we're about to get into the final sector of the track here to finish off the feature race with the Belgium Grand Prix here with L2S F2 Esports and get to that finish line. So it looks like it's going to be Lando taking the win for this one here. Let's see if he's going to be able to get a win for the sprint race as well coming up just after this. And looks like Briggsy is out of the race on the final lap. I'm not sure what happened down at the back there. If you can have a look quickly at this car stuck at the side of the track. Unfortunately for that. And we got Lando about to get across the line here right now and takes the win for the Belgium Grand Prix feature race. We got Neil there taking second place on the podium. Slayer takes third. Central takes fourth. J Sarge takes fifth so far. We got Callum taking sixth. Laurentio goes down to seventh. GTA Fanatic in eighth. Pedro ninth. And I think a bit of a switch up. More Frenzy goes up to 8. GTA Fanatic down to 9th. Now Pedro takes 10th now. In 11th. So this will have one last look at the preliminary results before heading on over into the sprint race. But not a bad race. And Central gets driver of the day. No surprise on that there. He did a pretty good drive on that race. Okay, so about to get into the sprinters, but let's just have a quick look at the preliminary results for the feature race so far. Just waiting on the screen for load. Taking quite a while to load. Alright, so there we have it there. So Lando takes the win on that one there. Neil has to take second place on the podium, but does get the fastest lap in the race. Slayer takes third place on the podium to finish that off. Central takes 4th in this race. J Sarge 5th, Callum in 6th, Laurentio 7th, Frenzy there 8th, GTA Fanatic there in 9th, Pedro 10th, Icone 11th, F1 Immortal 12th, Briggsy there not able to finish the race 13th. Ace versus King did not finish 14th. Then there did Royal Harvey there 15th. We should have maybe one or two more drivers join on for the sprint race. So let's head on straight on over to that, and hopefully we have maybe 2 or 3, at least 3 more drivers. Will be great to see to join on for that session. But sprint race should be a lot of fun to watch as well. It's going to be a bit shorter, guys, so let's see how well that is going to go. Okay, guys, getting started with a sprint race right about now. Let's see how well that goes with Frenzy and the Rentier out in front. Between the two of them, Frenzy has the inside getting started, so it might have a bit more of an advantage as he takes on the lead, which is quite well into the inside going on through. Let's see how the rest of the cars are getting through. Down at the back here, looks pretty good so far. I don't think we have any major contact going on, but we do have some cars pretty close off together, as they definitely are going to be fighting for positions going through. TGR Fanatic and Pedro, there hopefully not another incident between the two of them, but we do have incidents happening as we missed that just out in front. Two drivers had a bit of a Slayer, unfortunately, out in that one there. Virtual safety car for that incident as they get around the track on the opening lap of the sprint race. It's only a 9-lap race, and already some chaos inside of it. Let's see who was involved with that incident getting on through. It looks like it was Slayer, but I'm not sure who the other car was. But I think there were about 2 cars having that incident there. So 16 drivers in for this race. And that was a bit unfortunate for Slater. Unfortunately, he was not able to keep that from going into the wall. Apparently, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but that's going to be it here, at least for this one. Alright, so let's keep an eye on through for the rest of the race. I think we're back racing again already with the Rentier leading this race at the moment. Frenzy down to second, Callum running third, J Sargent fourth. Lando currently up to fifth already and running. Let's see how many positions more he's going to gain as we continue on with this race. Dikun about 2/10 behind Pedro at the moment, chasing him on through. And let's see what's happening out in front here with these 3 cars going a bit wide on track. About 4 cars fighting away from that position, with J Sarge in front of them, followed by Lando and Neil fighting in between, and Callum getting in the middle of that as well. And we got a car spun around. That was Lando. They are not the best of luck on this sprint race going on through. He's all the way down to the back of the grid, and we continue on through out in front with J Sarge and Neil in third, fourth, and Callum, they're running P5 at the moment. Not too well to see GTF Fanatic and Pedro running just behind each other, actually a bit side by side with each other once again, and I'm not sure if these two are getting along in the team or not, because GTF Fanatic out in front, they had a bit of a tussle on the previous race and caused one of these drivers to spin. I think that was Pedro that spun the last round. Let's see what's going to happen in this case, and I'm trying to have a look from someone else's perspective what's happening with them here right now. Well, there we have another incident happening. We got Briggsy being caught in the middle of that there, as Ace versus King had lost control of his car. Looks like Dikuna got caught in that as well. So 3 cars involved in that incident, causing a yellow flag there in sector, even where we here, we were in sector 2, I think, right about now. Going through, yep, so bit of an incident with that. Lando now running 11 because of his previous incident. Not sure if he took any damage on the car, but he's still running pretty strong going on through. Out in front though, the Rentier leading pretty well. Frenzy running second. J Sarge running 3/10 behind Frenzy right now. He's trying to catch up, trying to get that position away from him if possible right about now. But I think most of our action going down at the back of the grid here. GTR Fanatic and Pedro still at it once again. Pedro in front of him. Let's see what's going to happen with these two as they're fighting for positions in this race. I definitely think these two are racing each other. Not sure if that was given a go on. There we have another safety car. Ace versus King is out of the race there, unfortunately, and that's happened somewhere there in sector 2. That's before getting into sector 3. So 2 drivers out so far. A shorter race, but quite more chaotic as we're getting on through it. We're only on the 2nd lap going on through, and we got a safety car here for the sprint race for the Belgium Grand Prix. We got these 2 guys here still chasing after each other, and not sure how well this is going to go with these teammates being so close to each other getting on through. No stops here, and the Rentier continues on through out in front. We got a few pit stops actually happening here right about now. Let's get a few stats up on screen, see what's happening. Penalties, we do have a few cars with penalties so far. We'll have a bit more look into that later on in the session there. But yeah, following on with the safety car right about now, guys, on to lap 3 of this race. I think maybe at the end of lap 4 we possibly might be able to get this race restarted again and have at least 5 to 6 laps of racing left to go with. This race is going to be finishing up pretty quickly, as a sprint race is usually a bit shorter than the feature race there, as we can see. But yep, going pretty well so far. Quite an exciting race on our end. I actually want to see all the incidents that did happen there. We'll have to have a second look at this race later on this evening to see how well that start was there, because we had quite a few incidents getting through with that, especially on the restarts after the VST as well. So we'll see how the race finishes off though. On lap 3 going on through, 2 drivers out, 14 left. Let's see what's going to happen down at the end of this. Alright, so back on once again. We're currently on lap 4, still under the safety car. We do expect possibly the safety car should be going in at the end of this lap, and we should be getting back to racing to finish off this sprint race, which Lorenzo is still leading on through behind the safety car. Francis still running second, J Sarge running third, Neil down to fourth, Callum in fifth, Pedro there in 6th at the moment, with his teammate GG Fanatic down in 7th. They had a bit of contact in the previous race, so I'm just keeping an eye on those two, see what's going to happen with them as they get on through. A safety car is going to be in on this lap, so it looks like we're going to get back racing at the end of this. I want to see what's going to happen with these two fellas right here, because they've been at it since the feature race coming on through, and they've still been racing each other on through this race here going on through. So we'll see how well this is going to happen. F1 Immortal running 8th, Deacon in 9th, Royal Harvey there running 10th, got Central running 11th, I guess, and Lando in 12th, and we got Alex there 13th. So we'll see how these drivers finish off this race. New driver there for me, I'm not sure, but this driver here, I've never seen this person race before in the league, probably new on. I haven't been on with L2S F2 in quite a bit, and quite a few races actually. So good to be back on with them. Let's see what's going to happen the rest of the season as we go on through. We'll have a look at results for standings late in the next race next week, Tuesday. But for this week, we're just going to finish off with the race as it is here. I didn't get a chance to set that up. So Laurentier continues to lead on through us. We're back restarted here right again. Let's see how the restart is going so far, as it looks pretty good. From my end here, from what I'm seeing, GTA Fanatic and his teammate pretty close out behind each other. Let's see what's happening with these two as everyone gets on through and gets up pretty well here. I'm gonna just keep on this angle here and see what's happening with these two right about now. Okay, these two definitely have been chasing each other for quite a while in this race. Out front, we still got J Sarge is actually trying to catch up with Frenzy right about now. Has a pretty close gap going. Well, let's see if he's able to actually close that gap any more than what it is there right about now. Because 1.1 second now between J Sarge and Laurentier. Frenzy down to third. Let's see what's happening between these two here. Frenzy is now down to fourth. I'm not sure, does he have damage on that car? It doesn't seem like it's the situation there, but I'm not sure what's happening. But Neil is now up into third, into a podium position, and I think he's going to be pretty happy about that. But Laurentier and J Sarge leading out front, doing pretty well. Neil back to third, Frenzy fourth, Callum running fifth now. Pedro and GGF Fanatic still behind each other and still chasing each other for that position that they're fighting for there right about now in the team. Hopefully they don't take each other out of the race. Pedro here looks like he's about to get past Callum if he's a bit more careful about this one as well. He has to avoid getting penalties, which he just got a penalty right there, and so does his teammate have penalties here as well. We'll see what the penalty situation is going to be by the end of the race. But as you saw from the previous race, it does affect track positions quite a lot here. And welcome to Gamer on the live stream chat there, donating £5 to this stream for whatever is missed so far, 2 safety cars and 3 DNFs. And yep, that's okay that you're busy, no problem on that. Do always love when you join on the session. We got Central out of the race now as well. What's happened to him down in the back there? I don't think we'll be able to see what happened to his car there, but that is now 4 drivers out of the race. Unfortunately, this has been quite an eventful sprint race so far. The feature race was not as eventful as this one is. We got Neil about to get past J Sarge here. He's trying to take it around the outside, which he's about a bit forced to do actually. Let's see if he's able to get that position. J Sarge holding on to it as much as he can, and he actually carries on through that. We're on to lap 6 now. As you said, it's a pretty long lap around here, and these guys have to be as careful as they can to avoid these penalties. We do have a few drivers with penalties, but as usual, they're gonna have to just be worried about that at the end of the race and try to make up as much track positions as they can. But Laurentier leading pretty strongly out front, 2 seconds, and I say pretty strongly because if we look at the gaps that we have, it's mostly a few tenths between most of these cars right now. J Sarge trying to close that gap. He's 1.6 seconds behind him right now. Neil though about 5 tenths behind. He is trying to keep up with J Sarge as much as he can, and let's see what's going to happen by the end of the race, because these 3 are looking to get podium positions. It looks like it's going to be Laurentier, J Sarge and Neil there, but between J Sarge and Neil there might be a switch. I'm not sure, because Neil is coming on pretty strong. And another £2 donation there from Gamer on that one there for the DNF and the VSC. Thanks very much for that, do appreciate that. So that is at least £7 donated through this stream so far, and he's donated quite an amount on the previous stream as well. So thanks to him for that. Really do appreciate his support on the streams that we do have. And we got Neil about to get this overtake done with. If he finds a gap to work with here, he's about a tenth behind. And J Sarge under some serious pressure here right now for the final few laps of this race. Let's see how that's going to go out. And Royal Harvey out of the race there right about now. So that leaves us with about 11 drivers. There goes Neil losing control of his car and his chance of getting second place in the race there, and he's gonna have to hold on to P4 right about now, try to get past Frenzy if he wants to get ahead. So not the best race going on for him right about now. He has a train of cars coming behind of him, so he needs to be extremely careful between GTA Fanatic and Pedro right about now. Looks like GTA Fanatic has gotten past his teammate. He's holding on to that position for DLF right about now. Let's see if he's able to keep it on true, because Pedro is coming at him right about now. He does have the DRS advantage from Cali in front, but Pedro does have DRS advantage here as well. Looks like he's going to try it on the outside. Let's see if he's actually able to get that overtake done. Looks like he's gonna have to hold it back into 7th, and GG Fnatic continues on in the position that he is there right about now. We got a yellow flag situation going on. We got 2 cars into the pits. That's Lando and the corner there down at the back. Let's see how that's going to work on now. Onto lap 7 of 9. We're getting closer and closer to the end of this race. JSR is closing the gap right about now to Laurentier in the lead. Gap is about 6/10. It was about at least 1.6 to 1.8 seconds before. Now has gotten down quite a bit. Looks like Laurentier is going to be under some serious pressure out in front to keep that lead for the next 2.5 laps that we have remaining in the race. Neil, though, losing the gap because of the bit of problem that he had on the exit of the final turn on the previous lap, and that's Neil having some more problems here. I don't think he's going to be happy in this race at all at this point here, losing out in a podium position. Now out of the race itself. I think he's retired off of the session there. He is out of the race. I think he's just gotten quite a bit frustrated with the incidents keep happening there to him there. So he's out. That's going to leave us with only 10 drivers in. We got GTO Fnatic chasing after Calum, trying to get around and see if he's able to get that position away from him. Trying to get away from his teammate right about now as well, but having some problems actually doing that. So GTO Fnatic 3/10 behind Callum, and he's going to chase him on through. This is going to be a bit of a fight for a podium position, of course, with GTO Fnatic having a penalty. I'm not sure how that works out because the penalty situation is a 5-second penalty. He needs a 5-second lead away from Callum in terms of keeping that position, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get that. We'll see what the situation is going to be with it, but so far as it is, looks like it's going to be Laurentier taking the win. But JSR is challenging him here right about now into this lap because he's getting faster sectors as well. Let's go on board a bit with JSR and see what's happening. I'm going to follow on board with Laurentier and see how close JSR is actually getting on this current lap. Because, oh, there we go. Callum now has a penalty as well. He took a 3-second penalty for track limits. GTO Fnatic is about 3/10 behind. He needs to get ahead and get ahead by 2 seconds to keep that lead there. Let's see if he's able to get that going. And another donation there from Gamer, another £2. So he's donated quite an amount. I think that's about £9 donated for this stream so far. He's having a heck of a day doing that there, but thanks a lot to him for the support on the stream. We're down to 10 drivers left in this race. We started with 16 and we are now down to 10 drivers as it is. We'll be heading into the final lap here pretty soon. The Ranger still leads though, with JSR chasing after him pretty strongly. We got Pedro here chasing after his teammate GTO Fnatic. These two have been at it since the previous race. GTO Fnatic though trying to get past Callum here out in front of him. Let's see how that's going so far. And this does not look like it might end perfectly well for someone. Just depends on how hard these three are going to be pushing on through. Of course, Pedro trying to follow on behind his teammate right about now. JSR getting the fastest lap. Going into the final lap here right now. We're going to switch on over to Laurentier and JSR in just a bit to see how this is going to work out between the three of them, with Callum in front. Looks like Callum is trying to hold on to that podium position as much as he can, but out in front, JSR 6/10 behind. If Laurentier only takes a penalty here, JSR gets the win for this race, and Callum they are still trying to hold on to third place on the podium. GTO Fnatic trying to hold on to fourth. Pedro trying to get away from fifth and get into fourth if he can, with a 2:10 gap between him and his teammate. Let's see how that's going to work out. Frenzy there trying to get a position up if he can as well. 6/10 behind F1 Immortal, but on the final lap might be a bit difficult, but he's breaking it down to 3/10. And these three are still at it here right now. I don't know what's going to happen. There we go. So Pedro gets off track. A bit of contact again, I think, between GTO Fnatic and his teammate Pedro. So costing him maybe a position here. I'm not sure. Yeah, so he's trying to get back on track here right now. Might lose a position, but actually has a gap to work with. So might actually still be able to get P5 in the race. Yep, no problem. Gamer, go ahead for that one there. There are too many VSCs and DNFs that happen in a race for donations here. So let's keep that to safety cars from the next race going on, alright? Alright, so we got a 410 gap. Let's head on out in front right about now to our race leaders here. Where are they on track? So getting through sector 3 right about now. Final sector of the track here for the sprint race with the L2S F2 Esports. Has been a great sprint race so far. Quite eventful, I gotta say. Way more than the features. But the features was a lot of fun to watch. To see how well the guys got through it. That strategy played out pretty well as well. And looks like the Rentier is coming down to the final 2 turns here right about now to get across the line and take the win for the sprint race here for the Belgium Grand Prix. And Jay Sarge will take second place alongside him on the podium there. And looks like Callum will come to get across the line a few seconds behind, but he is going to probably be losing, or he's losing, no, he's not losing a position. He's getting third place on the podium. Where is he about to get across the line? With GTF and Adi just behind him. Takes fourth. Pedro comes across the line with an 8-second penalty to take 5th place. Let's see what that works out with Frenzy coming across with a 3-second penalty and a 10-second gap. So he's going to take 6 on this one. So we got quite a few penalties there. Yeah, we got a bit of a switch. So F1 Immortal takes 6, Frenzy takes 7, Dicona takes 8, and looks like Alexis will take 9. We got Lando having, unfortunately, have to take 10 after winning the previous race there. A new member. Oh, I see what happened there. So Gamer upgraded his membership on the channel to Esports exclusive member. Well, thanks very much for doing that. We'll make it worth it, no worries, because you know I do have stuff planned for the member stream. So we're gonna get that set up going through on this week. Looks much better in the YouTube chat rather than the multi-stream chat, but I gotta get its chat situation worked out as well for the next streams coming on. Why do I have a frozen screen there? Alright, so let's have a look at the preliminary results for the sprint race itself. We already looked at the feature race, probably have a look at it if we have enough time on the screen there. Let's see what's happening with that. Well, thanks once again to Gamer to upgrading his membership on the channel and for all the donations on both streams. This evening has been quite an eventful 2-league race so far this evening here. Hopefully to get another league race tomorrow. Or if not, we'll probably do another stream either way and see what's gonna happen then. But either way, let's see what we got going on. I got games to play either way, but let's see if we can get a league stream set up, and if we can, we'll do that. So looks like Univertosi Racing gets both driver on the podium, so Laurentio gets the win on that one. J Sarge finishes second. Callum finishing third on the podium, not a bad finish for him. He held on pretty strongly with that. GTF Fanatic taking fourth. Had a pretty good fight with his teammate there as well in fifth. F1 Immortal takes 6. We got Frenzy in 7. Deacon in 8. Alexis 9. We got Nando there in 10th. We got Neil 11. Ron Harvey 12. Central 13. Brixie 14. Ace vs. the King 15. And Slayer there 16th. Alex is pretty well finishing here at 9th. So new driver on my end. Looks like Neil had the fastest lap even though he didn't finish the race. Unfortunate for that. But has a great race there. So not too bad on that. Oh, P7 is his country. Oh, I see it there. Yeah, I got that. Alright guys, so 2 great races so far, but let's see with the sprint race results as it was. This is where it was there. So Dorrance took the win, J Sargent second, Callum there third, TTM number 4th, Petro behind there, F1 Immortal, and so on down. So not too bad with the results on that. So 2 great races here from L2S F2 Esports. Thanks to all of you guys who joined on to the stream. You have to watch it whether it was on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. And remember, all the links are down in the description of the video. I'll have to make sure they're all in there for the Facebook and stream as well, but I'll check on that later on. But once again, thanks for everyone who joined on, and thanks to Gamer there for all the donations on the stream and for the previous stream as well. If you guys did miss that race, do check it out. It is up on the on all the channels as well. And we'll see you guys once again tomorrow for another stream, probably somewhere around maybe which it's going to be like 3 p.m. my time, but I think it'll be like 8 p.m. GMT time for those of you in the UK, which is where most of my viewers probably come from, I assume. So actually from what I see on YouTube, that's mostly where it's from. So I'll see you guys back again tomorrow for another stream, and that is £17 total donated by a gamer for today, and he upgraded his membership on the channel as well. We will have another member stream coming up pretty soon as well, so do check out the membership options on the channel, guys, because we have some members only stream that are starting to happen. We did do one already. We're going to be doing some more. I'll probably do one before this week is up, and probably try to make it a weekly thing going on forward there. So thanks to you guys who watch the stream. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitch, and subscribe with us on YouTube. And do check out the Twitter as well. I think it's on the Discord. The Discord link is in the description of the video. Join us on the Discord so you guys can have a chat with drivers as well there, and with myself in there as well. I'll see you guys on the next